Welcome to the channel and welcome to this review of the Aeronautica Imperialis Companion, which GW have very kindly sent to me for free for your reviewing pleasure. So, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. And a part of me that's a little nervous, a little anxious, a little bit, I'm not sure. Because this book, and I'll get this out of the way first. This book contains Eldar, craftboard Eldar, Necrons, and Space Marines. When the last box set came out that was Eldar versus Space Marines, there wasn't a campaign book that came with it. And I thought, that's a bit odd. The others have had campaign books going with them. And my spider sense started tingling. And this has the Necron rules in it, and there are no Necron. There's no Necron boxed set, and it's not a thick hardback book with lots of illustrations in. It's a teeny weeny green flying crescenty thing, and I'm scared that GW are ramping down on Aeronautica Imperialis, and I've seen this before with different games. They launch them, they've got all supplements planned, and then they decide that actually it's not performing as well as they'd hoped, and tail it off. They go, well, everything we've got left to do so far, we'll bung into one book and sell that. That way we'll get some book sales. I really hope that's not what's happening, because I want Tyranids, I want Chaos, I want the other ones I can't remember, I want Drukhari, I want flying Hive Crones and Hellblades and Much Daka, Big Wow. Who else am I forgetting? There's someone massive I'm forgetting. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. But yeah, and there's only 2 Necron flyers. So I really hope that's not what's happening. I really hope we've got more releases coming up. I really hope we're going to get Chaos. I really hope we're going to get Tyranids. However, that panic / plea / morbid dread aside, let's look at this book, because there is some good stuff in this book. So, I mentioned it's Space Marines, Necrons and Eldar. There's also a couple of other little bits in here as well. So, special rules for squad. Oh, I hadn't seen that. Ooh, we'll be finding out about that together. Special rules for squadron lists. Necrons, Adeptus Astartes, Azirani, some new Ork options for, and I know a beclawed gentleman who will giggle at this. The options for looted Thunderbolts and looted Marauders. I can hear him giggling now. And there's some extra options for the Tau Aircast and the Imperial Navy. Then some expanded rules called Dueling Aces. I mean, you got to imagine there was going to be a campaign book called Dueling Aces. I haven't done it. And there's some match play scenarios. Now, I'm not a matched play person, as those of you who are familiar with my 40k and AOS stuff will know, but actually these look pretty good for Aeronautica, and I'll come on to that in a bit. There are some things in this book that have nailed things that I thought were I hadn't realised were kind of missing from the rule set before that. Anyway, so flicking through the book, campaign play and squadrons. It's got some experienced aces. It's got some pilot ace abilities that you accrue during campaigns. It's got a Necron list, it's got an Adeptus Astartes list, and an Azirani list. Nice. so you can accrue wins and do that as them. Squadron lists. Oh yeah, okay, so I just sat and read through this book to talk through it, and I've missed pages 10 and 11, and there's like 5 special rules on there. Whoops. Boosted rockets. An aircraft with boosted rockets can choose to disengage from the area of engagement at any point rather than just at the edge. To do so, must be travelling at altitude 5. Once completed its ace manoeuvre during the morale phase, declare that it's using its boosted rockets to climb once more and disengage. Okay, interesting. Transport aircraft. Transport capacity shown as a number rather than a dash, represents cargo, etc. Alright, okay, so we knew about that from previous releases. Valuable cargo. Maybe this is like the Imperial Aquila. Oh, I need to go get an Imperial Aquila. Of course, all this makes me want to go and buy all the Forge World models now, just in case. My poor wallet. Once the cargo has been delivered, they will rapidly exit the combat zone. Once it's deployed its cargo, the aircraft may voluntarily disengage in any turn as if it were a disengagement turn. Okay, so if the only purpose of that vessel is to go and send stuff somewhere, it doesn't have to keep circling amidst all the death. Jump troops. Some transport aircraft can deliver their cargo of troops without landing. Using jump packs, jet packs, grav chutes. Instead of landing in a landing zone, a transport aircraft with jump troops can drop them from altitude as it passes over. Ah! To drop its jump troops, the aircraft must pass directly over the landing zone during the movement phase. Once the aircraft has completed its movement, before adjusting its altitude, roll a d6 for each point of transport capacity being dropped. If the result of the roll is higher than the aircraft's current altitude and speed added together, the jump troops arrive safely within the landing zone. If the roll is equal to or lower than the aircraft's current speed and altitude added together, the troops are scattered, injured, or killed, and no victory points are scored. Okay, so you can't be going at, speed 10, altitude 5. You're like, hey, see you, fellas? No, you've got to be going, right, slow down, get a bit lower, jump, jump, jump. Cool. Stealth. Yeah, these are going to be Tau ones, aren't they? Or Necron. Tower Necron. Any weapon with the ground-to-air fire special rule targeting an aircraft with this special rule must reduce its effective altitude by the numbers shown in the brackets next to the name of the special rule in the aircraft's profile. Okay, so it's protection against ground defences. Jink. When an aircraft is chosen to fire during the firing phase, before step 1 targeting, it may immediately move 1 hex in any direction. However, the aircraft may not change its facing, altitude or speed after making this move, nor may the movement take the aircraft into an occupied hex. Okay, so they can wind and wend and... Admech! Sorry, I said the word Adeptus Mechanicus here. Admech flyers. Maybe we're going more into Battlefleet Gothic. Please, GW. Yeah. Okay, so Necrons. So their upgrades. Galvanized nanoswarms, plus 4 points. Once per game, may attempt to repair damage. During the end phase, roll a d6 for each point of lost structure. For a roll of 5+, repairs a single point of structure. Translocation Engines, 3 points. Once per game, after an aircraft has finished moving during the movement phase, it may immediately move up to 2 hexes in any direction. It must move in the same direction for both hexes. It may not change its facing, altitude, or speed. Phase Shift. Once per game, roll a d6 for each hit the aircraft suffers from with an ammo characteristic of 1, 2, or 3. For each roll of 6, that hit becomes a miss. So that's typically missiles. And other limited ammos that, I don't know, just phases out of reality and the rocket passes through it. Adaptive Cognition, 5 points. Out of a 100-point list, that's a lot. That's 7%. The aircraft holds specially designed pneumatic crystals that rapidly assimilate data and alter the tactical opportunities of the pilot. This upgrade may only be taken by one aircraft within a force. Once per game, the aircraft may choose to discard a dice roll and re-roll the dice. However, all the dice must be re-rolled and the player must accept the result of the second roll even if it's worse. Okay, let's re-roll everything once per game. Reinforced Necrodermis. The aircraft's Necrodermis has undergone substantial hardening to allow it to withstand powerful munitions? Powerful munitions. To allow it to withstand powerful musicians. The try not to headbang challenge. When this aircraft is damaged by a weapon that has extra damage, the extra damage is reduced by 1. Okay, so a weapon with an extra damage 5 plus would become extra damage 6 plus. Alright. Right. Stats. There's only 2. There's only 2 planes for the Necrons. Night Scythe, which we all know and love from the tabletop. 35 points. You know, so this is that's a lot of points. So you get 3 of these in your 100. Less than 3 of these in 100 points. Night Shroud's more expensive. So what have we got? Structure 4. It's going to take a lot of damage. Throttle 3. Oh. Min speed 1. Max speed 8. Transport 2. Yeah, so this is teleporting your Necron warriors down to the ground. Oh, I'm going on Forge Ward after I've done this video. Because I'm really keen on Necrons at the minute. I'm really keen on everything at the minute. But, ooh, Necrons. Hold that thought. Max altitude 5, handling 4 plus, fuel dash. Minimum speed 1, maximum speed 8. So if you start this on speed 5, on the first turn it can be either going at full speed of 8 or down to 2 with its throttle of 3. Twin Tesla Destructor. Front arc 842. Damage 4 plus. Unlimited ammo, extra damage 6 plus. Oh! I can see why it's 35 points. Oh, you wouldn't want to mess with these things, would you? You can just imagine the screech of the Teslas as they open up and they fry all the electrics in the thunderbolt they hit, and it just drops out of the sky, crackling with electricity. Just sort of falls down. Heavy death rate. This is an upgrade. You can upgrade it to a Doom Scythe for plus 3 points. It doesn't have a transport capacity, but it has a heavy death ray. 420. Damage on a 3 plus. Extra damage on a 4 plus. It's like, you don't exist. Pardon? Oh, 2 damaged vehicles. It's just like, yeah, you're not there anymore. What does the Night Shroud do? I missed the special rules. Oh, I've only just noticed this. Is this true of other things as well? No, it's not. So on the thing, it's card at the top. Oh, I hope they bring out cards for these, so I can have physical cards on the tables. They're not going to, are they? I want my physical cards. I want my cards. Don't kill off Aeronautica. The signs are there. I'm back in the room now. Special rules. Jink, jump troops, rocket boosters. These can disengage in a turn. They don't have to land to get the troops down. They can just teleport them. And they can jink about the place. Super maneuverable. Yeah. the Night Shroud has Jink and rocket boosters. It doesn't have jump troops because it doesn't have a transport capacity. Right, these are 39 points each. Structure 5, throttle 2, 5, throttle 2, so not quite as fast. Minimum speed 2, maximum speed 7, still pretty nippy. Ace maneuvers 1 to 6, that's as good as most Imperial vehicles. Max altitude 5, handling 4+. Twin Tesla Destructor is the same as on Lado. So 8, 4, 2, 4+ damage, extra damage 6+. And then Death Spheres. Death Spheres! Oh, it's a bomber! Sorry. Death Spheres. Fire Arc Rear. 400, damage 2+, ammo 4, ground attack, extra damage 4+. Oh! Damage on 2+, extra damage 4+. Oh, what a beast. Add to cart. Okay, then we come to Space Marines, the Adeptus Astartes. I'm not going to go through these in a lot of detail because these are... I've already gone through these when I went through... It's still here. The Wrath of Angels box set. It's there, see? There, next to the light bulbs. And the whatever that is. What is that? Also light bulbs. I digress. So I'm not going to go through all these unless there's anything new. I imagine that, I mean, this means you can get the models without having to buy that boxed set for the rules. It's got all the upgrades. Xiphon Interceptor, Storm Eagle Assault Craft, Fire Raptor Gunship, Thunderhawk Gunship, ground defences, the Icarus Storm Cannon Array, the Sky Spear Missile Launcher. I think these are new. Ground to air, effective altitude 3, effective altitude 4, structure 2, 9.7 points. Yeah, cool. That's cool. Then some aces. Yeah, these were totally going to be in a campaign book. I could cry. This looks like a Salamander Fire Raptor Gunship Ace Fighter. And an Unkillable Phantom. I'm going to say it looks like a White Scar. He's got a White Scar-esque haircut and his armour's white. Xiphon Interceptor. Battle Brother Athon Vey. Doesn't mention what chapter he's from. That I can see. Now, interestingly, it does mention Tyranids. Arthur will go and fight on Valora against Eldari, Orks, and then Tyranids. Now, it does mention the Salamanders on the Salamander guy. Tech Marine Pilot Argan Falshan. Tech Marine Pilot. Oh, you can make a model of the Tech Marine. And have it no. No. Am I just missing where it says what chapter he's from? Oh, the Star Phantoms. The Star Phantoms. Okay, now we're on to the Azirani. Vehicle upgrades, again, they'd been in that box. Now, in the other one, there was only the Nightwing and the Phoenix. There are more in here now. Some of the ones that I was disappointed not to see in that book are in here. So I'm going to gloss over the Nightwing, gloss over the Phoenix Bomber, the Vampire Raider. I mean, these Forge World used to do these. These were huge, big, super heavy things. Big, super heavy flyers with massive guns. So, 33 points, Special Rules Jump Troops, Structure 5, Throttle 3, Minimum Speed 2, Max 7, Ace Maneuvers 1 to 6, Altitude 5, Handling 3+. You see, this is a big Eldar craft, and it's not really that much more manoeuvrable than the Necrons. The Necrons' big craft are as manoeuvrable as the Nightwing, which is the sort of really nippy super fighter of the Azirani. Transport 3, Twin-Link Shuriken Cannon. Shush. I've put my phone on mute, but I can't work out how to mute the computer thing without turning the microphone off. I don't really understand technology. Work in IT. Twin-Link Shuriken Cannon, 10-6-0. Damage 5+ unlimited ammo. 10. Oh. Nose-mounted scatter laser. 420. Where are the big guns? Oh, they're optional. Vampire Raider may replace his Twin-Link Shuriken Cannon with one chosen from the following list for 3 points. It's a list of 1. Twin-linked pulse lasers. Front 4-6-2. 3+ unlimited aerial attack. 6 shots damaging on 3+ is pretty nice. The Vampire Raider may be equipped with 1 additional at 2 points. However, it also reduces transport capacity to 2. Phoenix missile launchers. 3-2-0, 4+ 2 ammo. Nice. I hope the kit... Well, of course the kit will have all the different options. That's the Vampire Raider class bomber. Now the Vampire Hunter. 36 points. Nose-mounted scatter laser, Phoenix launchers, twin-link pulsar. No transport capacity, throttle 3. Okay, so the stats are pretty much the same. So that's really odd. So this basically looks to be identical to the Phoenix, to the Vampire... Oh no, it's not quite identical. You don't lose all your transport capacity with the Vampire Raider. But it's got the two... You could take a Vampire Raider for 33 points, give it the pulse lasers for 3, and the Phoenix launchers for another 2 points, making it cost 38 points. It still has a transport capacity of 2. Whereas you can pay 36 points for the Vampire Bomber with the exact same weapon loadout, no transport capacity. 6 points cheaper, 3 points cheaper. Okay, that makes sense. But obviously you differentiate between hunters and bombers anyway if you're doing it the way I do it. How many more of these have we got? There's loads. There's so many loads. Hemlock Wraith. I really, really want to go on Forge World now. Hemlock Wraith Fighter. Can jink. 2 structure points, throttle 3, max speed 2, ace maneuvers 1 to 8 as you'd expect, max speed 8, handling 2 plus max altitude 5. 2 heavy D size, front 3-3, 0, damage 2 plus, unlimited ammo, extra damage 3 plus. 3 plus. Yep, and to the warp you go. Pardon? Then a Nightshade Interceptor. This has Jink, 25 points. Structure 2, throttle 4, minimum speed 3, maximum speed 9, ace maneuvers 1 to 8, handling 2 plus, max altitude 5. Nightshade Interceptor. Is this a new plane that we're going to see in the new Eldar range coming? 2 Bright Lances, 1, 2, 2, 2+, unlimited, aerial attack, extra damage, 6+. Alright, so this is your basic bog standard fighter, similar to a Nightwing. Nightwing gets more shots with a shotgun cannon close up. This guy's longer range. Throttle 4. That is quick. Same structure. Minimum speed's 3, maximum speed's 9, Nightwing's 2.8, handling's 2+, max altitude's 5+. Then we've got some ground defences, pulsar platform, 2 structure, 1, 2, 2, damage 2+, effective altitude 3+, ground to air, extra damage, yeah, nice. And a night spinner platform, 2 structure, 552, 5+. Okay, then we have some aces. We have Elneth, the Shadow Reaver, is a Bale Tan Phoenix Bomber. And Jin Lyre, the Crimson Host, so this is a Siam Han Nightwing. Nice. Then we have Ork Air War options, looted Imperial aircraft. So basically it's got rules for taking like Thunderbolts and Marauders. Ork Force may include 1 looted Imperial aircraft for every 5 Ork aircraft. The 1 Imperial aircraft can be looted by Orks are Thunderbolts, the only Imperial aircraft, and Marauder Bomber. Other aircraft are deemed too flimsy to appeal to the Orks, and you can add rockets, wing bombs and big bombs to them. Oh yeah, you can't give them Imperial Navy upgrades anymore. Oh, who'd have thought it, eh? Then there are some cards for the... I want cards! There are some cards for the looted Thunderbolt, looted Marauder that look like they've been orked up. And the Mega Bomber. Then Tau options. Tau Auxiliary Human Aircraft. Tau Force may include 1 Tau Human Auxiliary for every 5 Tau aircraft. The Imperial aircraft that can be included in a Human Auxiliary Force, the maximum numbers for each one shown below. Thunderbolt, Marauder, Lightning, Avenger, Valkyrie, Vendetta, they're all options. They all have different maxes and minimums. May be given Imperial Navy or Astra Militarum upgrades. Cannot be given Tau upgrades. Okay. So you can take the Guela with your forces. Imperial Navy options. Marauder Pathfinder. Another card we're never going to physically see. Class Scout. Structure 5. Throttle 1. Minimum speed 2. Max 5. Ace maneuvers 1, 2 or 3. Heavy bolter array and rear turret. So it's a Scout in the same way as you get a Scout Titan, it would appear. And then a Marauder Colossus Bomber, 26 points. It's got a Colossus Bomb. Ammo 1. Rear 700. Damage 2+. Ground attack. Extra damage 3+. That is one mother of a bomb. Now, this is interesting. It's all interesting and exciting and fun. Expanded rules. These are really interesting. So there are rules. So essentially, these are optional rules. You've got to agree them with your opponent, etc., etc. As always the case with any time they say there are optional rules in any of the GW packs. But there's a rule here. There's a rule here for converting anything with unlimited ammo to having limited ammo. I think they've basically sort of gone. Maybe I've played games of this where we've just flown round to the extreme range of each other, shooting each other every turn, and paid scant disregard to the number of rounds we've actually got because it's unlimited. Narratively, is it unlimited? So, what it tells you to do is add up the FPR characteristics, so your short, medium, long range. Add all the numbers up and then compare the total to a table. So if the total's 1 to 9, you have an ammo characteristic of 6. 10 to 16 is 5. 17 plus is 4. So you get between 6 and 4 shots for each of the unlimited weapons you've got. That feels about right. You want to... That's going to make you wait to take your shot, which I think is something that's good to see. I like that. Ground defences are unlimited ammo. It also says... aircraft that has no ammo remaining for any of its weapons may voluntarily disengage as if it were the disengagement turn. That makes perfect sense. If you run dry, you're out. You can go. Then, expanded damage. There's a whole bunch of rules wordage for this, but basically it says when you take a point of... When you would lose a structure point, you roll on this table instead. I like this. This is good. There's a bit more depth to this. So I'm going to run through the table. So if you roll a 1, the higher the better for the damage roller. So you're shooting, you're rolling the damage. High numbers good, low numbers bad. A 1 basically means the pilot loses control. Then you roll a dice. They basically, I'm not going to use the word spin, but they temporarily lose control and end up with a random facing, which can have an effect because if you knock someone around before they're about to shoot you, I'm going to shoot you. 2, the engine is hit and begins belching smoke. Put a smoke token on it. We'll come to smoke tokens. 3, you've taken a serious hit. Put a flame token on it. We'll come to flame tokens. 4, the aircraft loses a single structure point and immediately falls into a spin. That's good because I'd like to see the spins being used more because it's never happened in a game that I've played that an aircraft's fallen into a spin because the stalling mechanic doesn't seem to come into it much when we play. 5 is the engine's hit and begins belching smoke and you lose a structure point. So smoke token and a structure point. 6 is flame token and a structure point. Then there's the thing about extra damage basically gives you extra rolls on the table rather than extra structure points automatically. So the end sequence has changed slightly. After recovering from a spin, you've got smoke and flame, and then you resolve the smoke and the flame token people. If in the smoke and flame phase, any plane with a smoke or flame token can attempt to remove it, and removing it happens on a 3+ from the looks of it. If your aircraft has a smoke token on it, you may not perform tailing fire, and you're at -1 for all shooting rolls. Otherwise, the aircraft acts as normal. That's pretty bad, but that's what it is. To remove the smoke token, you roll the handling of the aircraft. If you succeed, then you remove the smoke token. If you don't succeed, you roll on this table. On a 3+, I think I said a minute ago that it was all a 3+. Ignore that. It's your handling to remove the token, and if you fail, you roll a dice. On a 1 or 2, so on a smoke token, on a 1 or a 2, it gets worse, and you replace the smoke token with a flame token. On a 3+, it carries on belching smoke, but nothing happens, and you keep the token. Flame tokens, again, if you want to remove a flame token, it's a handling test, and if you do, the flame token goes away. If you don't, you roll another dice. On a 1 or 2, it loses a structure point and continues to burn. On a 3+, The flames are extinguished, but they continue to smoke, so you replace the flame token with the smoking token. So you can actually end up going back and forth between fire and smoke quite a bit. And then there's a little cutout of additional tokens, permission to copyright for personal use. Permission to photocopy for personal use. Then there's expanded ace abilities. So previously, all the ace pilot abilities you could only get in a one-off narrative campaign. In a narrative campaign, not one-off, but in a narrative campaign, you would get kills and things, and they would add up to give you ace abilities. This is basically a list of how to take an ace pilot ability in a one-off game, and they've just got a number of points each. Like Deadly Hunter, 2 points. May roll 1 extra dice when resolving tailing fire. Flyby, 3 points. Add 1 to all short-range hit rolls made by the aircraft when targeting an enemy that's travelling at a lower speed than it. Superior reactions. Once per game, when the aircraft activates during the movement phase, it may discard its manoeuvre token and immediately choose another ace manoeuvre. Ooh! Oh! So yeah, there's what? 12, 15 of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 of them. Then, and I won't dwell on these too much, there's match play scenarios. Now this is pretty similar to, how to do a match play game in the various rule books. It says play on a 3x3, which makes sense for match play, not for narrative play, but just for match play. And how to do narrative, how to do random weather and stuff. Also, the terrain height is interesting. Now, that was in the Taros campaign book. But basically, you can give like hills or buildings a notional height. Say, okay, that hill is height 3, which means that you've got to be, if you're going over it or on it, you've got to be at least at 4. And 3 is treated as 0. And also any gun defences that are on it are counted as being at level 3. Which is basically what it is, which I like. But what it has got in the matched play section, and it's got 3 match play games, and they're fine. They look like nice pickup scenarios. I think match play in Aeronautica is fine. It's fine. But they've got deployment maps, and it's showing what basically looks like a 3x3 hex grid with different shaped deployment zones. There's sort of the traditional line up either side. There's like a wedge. There's like a V shape. There's like a chevron option. There's a sort of flyby where one of them's going that way and one of them's going the other. There's a bunch of different shapes, and it differentiates on here the zones where you can put your ground defences, which I think is really unclear from some of the other scenarios, and doesn't take into account your table size in some of the previous publications. But on here it says, here is the shaded. You've got it shaded, and it's in 2 colour tones. So it's like, okay, in the dark red, if you're player 2, this is where you put your planes. In the light red is where you put any ground defences that you have. Spot on. I like these. And the different Dueling Aces has a different set to No Man's Land. Has a different set to Troop Insertion. Because Troop Insertion's got sort of... in some of them you have the options to start quite close, because potentially some of your planes are at the back, but some of them might be further ahead because they're inserting troops or defending things. Or in No Man's Land you have little options for just, you've got like single hex deployment zones. So actually it says you can put like 1 plane in the No Man's Land. It's nice. I like those rules. I think there's definitely some extra flavour there. There's definitely I can definitely see those scenarios being fun. Those Necron planes they look gross. I really hope this doesn't signal the beginning of the end. But anyway, so that's, yeah, Nice. Good book. Good book. Good stuff. More, please. On that note, just a quick shout out to all my channel members and patron followers, patron supporters, who are helping me do the hobby dream thing and heading towards maybe someday full time. You guys are all awesome. Thank you very much. If you want to support me, there are various ways of doing it. Check out the description below. Channel memberships are the best one from my perspective. You can get access to lots of extra hobby videos and battle reports that are exclusive for channel members. Also get access to our hobby Discord. Other ways, you can use my affiliate link for Element Games. You can support me via Patreon, or you can just watch my videos because they have adverts on them, and that's supporting me too. And on that happy note, I'm going to say we'll leave it there. Stay safe, everyone, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.